be full-time. Celebrating student athletes.
Back to Des Moines, the Wells Fargo Arena, as we are off and going with our first set of bouts in this session number 1 of the 2013 NCAA Wrestling Championships. 4 bouts that we'll be following. First off, mat number 3, it's going to be UNI's Joey Laser, the redshirt junior, taking on Brian Pearsall of Penn State. Anytime you hear the Nittany Lions names, critical. You know about their firepower, but it's guys like Pearsall that can score some points. Also at 149 pounds in the pigtail round, American U's Kevin Tao of Kent, Washington. He is taking on his opponent from Binghamton, Donnie Vinson. He comes into this tournament ranked, so there you go, Jim, right out of the gate, a ranked wrestler in the pigtail. Dylan Alton of Penn State taking on Jake O'Hara from Columbia. And our 4th match that we'll be keeping an eye on is at 165 pounds with LeBlanc of Indiana, Ottinger of Central Michigan.
UNI wrestler Laser gets an early takedown in his match, jumps out to a 2-0 lead. You know, in these matches here, as far as team points go, if you get a win in this round and then a win in the next round, that's when they'll add that additional team points. But you can achieve bonus points. Now, bonus points are pretty important for team scoring. If you win by 8, there's a good fall situation over there against the Ohio State wrestler.
Yeah, that's Ian Paddock taking on Donnie Vinson.
Yeah, Vinson's really tough, a number 3 seed. He's just really tough in the top position. Only 1 loss on the season. That was in the Midlands finals. He's ahead in that match and lost to Bruschetta from Virginia Tech, I believe. And so having a really good season, coming out very strong in this match. Ian Paddock played a pretty big part in the Big Ten championships. He was able to knock off one of the Alton brothers, Andrew Alton, I believe, in that right off the bat. So guy that wasn't even expected to be able to start. They had Cam Tassari there that was wrestling for Ohio State quite a bit. So but he finds himself down to a pretty tough wrestler here, down 5-0 in the first period.
So Paddock of Ohio State in some early trouble. An early takedown for Laser of Northern Iowa. He still leads 2-0. Alton of Penn State has jumped on the board with a takedown late in the first period. And still no score with LeBlanc and Ottinger of Central Michigan.
And you take a look at some of these matchups here that Penn State has. I mean, there's a lot of there'll be a lot of excitement this evening with regard to the team race. Some of these seeded wrestlers will begin to meet each other, and a lot of them are, you know, Penn State Minnesota matchups. They'll have direct correlation to what the team score. Crowd will certainly get riled up on that. So.
See Alton going to work on O'Hara from Columbia. Alton turning All-American at a tough Big Ten tournament, hoping to get it back. And a strong start for Alton is nothing new. If you followed him throughout his years, he always has a pretty good motor in the early goings of the match.
Yeah, his difficulty has been keeping that motor going here all the way through the match, and that's where he struggled. So had a couple losses. One was a quality loss, I think, to Derek St. John in the Big Ten tournament in the consolation round. So Derek St. John was the number 1 seed in that meet and got knocked off, was undefeated, and got beat by Green from Nebraska. So pretty tough in the top position. So Alton having a pigtail match here is a little bit to test his conditioning, and that was kind of a little bit suspect in the Big Ten tournament. Laser having an opportunity to go ahead and, well, they're not going to give any points there, but stays ahead 3-2.
Laser's a good story for UNI. He's coming off a serious injury, tore both his ACL and his MCL 2 years ago. Redshirted last season because of the injury. And talking with the UNI coaches, the injury they felt with him forced to wear a brace for a significant amount of time slowed him down a little bit where it benefited him. Focus on more of the fundamentals, and Laser's stormed back in a big way this year for UNI.
Well, when you're learning how to wrestle with pain and injury like that limits you, if you're not, as long as you're not going to do any more damage, then you focus on other areas where you can go ahead and win matches, and you learn some things about yourself. And it's maybe slowed himself down a little bit. UNI coaching staff likes that. So
Donnie Vinson, the program's all-time wins leader with 128. He is looking sharp as he is having his way with Paddock of Ohio State. 8-2 for the Bearcat from Binghamton.
Hannafy from Army get back in on the leg. Scramble situation developing here. And what you try to see here is the guy who keeps his head up in the scramble. You notice how Laser's keeping his head up now, up off the mat, and he was able to go ahead and win the scramble because he kept his head up, stayed calm, dropped his hips at the right time. Now he's in good shape here with the leg in with a 6-2 lead.
Tyler Hannafy of Army, the senior, Staten Island, New York. He was an automatic qualifier. He finished 7th at the EIWA tournament. He was seeded 6th. Pretty deep weight class for that conference. Alton still with a 3-0 lead. Ottinger with the match's first offense. He goes on top of the Indiana wrestler LeBlanc 2-1.
This is really a situation for O'Hara from Columbia to really pick up the pace. He's trying to do that, but he's not. You got to be able to score. This is the scoring opportunity in that match in the second period.
Jake O'Hara wrestling Alton. O'Hara is a senior for Columbia. He's a 2-time NCAA qualifier. He has experience as Alton is in on the leg, and he will finish it off for Penn State.
Nice job by Alton there. Just hit a little post, single leg there, followed it all the way through, brought his hips to the party, and cleared it out. Nice takedown. And that's what you want to see right now with your coach Sanderson. You know, if you can get some bonus points right here, if he can extend that lead from 5-0 to 8-0, that's a team point. And you know, you just can't take anything for granted. And when I was coaching, I really stressed that, you know, you start wrestling for yourself here. You get a 5-0 lead, 6-0 lead. You know, you guard against the 5-point move. You just stay off your back. You're going to be all right. So at that point, you start wrestling for the team. Start looking for bonus points.
Alton has the riding time advantage in his bout as they wind down the second period, 5-0. Donnie Vinson continues to look sharp. In the third period, a 5-point cushion on Paddock, plus a whole bunch of riding time. Laser holding on against Hannafy of Army in a good bout with LeBlanc and Ottinger. 2-2, third period.
Yeah, those guys just kind of stayed right there in the middle of the mat in that small circle. 165-pounders. Ottinger from Central Michigan. Central Michigan always does such a fine job of doing a nice job with their program there. Always tough. Going up against a Central Michigan wrestler, you know you're going to have a good 7-minute battle on your hands, and keep good position. And Coach Tom Borelli does such a fine job there in that program. A lot of Michigan kids. And they also do a little bit of recruiting outside the state here with but that's been because they've had success. They've competed well for recruits in Ohio and Pennsylvania. So that's a really quality program run by Tom Borelli, Central Michigan.
Riding time is not a factor in the Ottinger-LeBlanc bout, so could we be heading toward a sudden victory? 25 seconds to go, knotted up at 2.
And neither one of these guys really seems to have much of an offense that they can break through each other's head-hands defense. And that match is going to overtime. Alton back in on a single leg there. That's fought off pretty well by O'Hara from Columbia.
LeBlanc and Ottinger will go into a 1-minute sudden victory. Pigtail round.
Back points over there for the UNI wrestler. It's number 3, so it's a major decision over Hannafy from Army.
Joey Laser, UNI, will now meet Brian Pearsall of Penn State a little bit later in the first round.
Northern Iowa, Joey Laser.
Nice little comeback going here for Ian Paddock here. He's got an 8-5 score now in his match against Donnie Vinson. Short time, but that match looked like it was going to get away, and Vinson just put the brakes on him.
Will be a top seed at 125 pounds from Missouri.
Vinson has nearly 4 minutes of riding time, so he will get the point. And the number 4 ranked wrestler, Donnie Vinson, at 149 pounds, wins his pigtail with riding time. It's a 9-5 victory for Vinson over Paddock of Ohio State.